welcome back to Cliffieland. This is weekend country number 169 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight, up to the nation of Syria. Syria, located in Western Asia on the Mediterranean Sea, is bordered by Turkey, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Israel. And its food is a delicious combination of a lot of the great flavors that you'll find in the Levant, that's sort of like the Middle Eastern area, and also includes some influences from across the Mediterranean from a number of other countries and areas that have kind of come to dominate the area over its many centuries of existence, which means that you'll find little hints of the traditions of the Turks and Ottomans, as well as the Greek and the French. And there's a lot of dishes that the place is known for. You'll find really great things like shish kebabs and shawarma and pita bread and a great spice mix called Baharat spice mix, as well as a lot of great dessert dishes involving sesame and a lot of other great stuff. But we had to deal with this all last time, so let's see how things went when we tried things 4 years ago. Well, last time around on the Global Cooking Challenge, I was able to cook and stream across 3 nights, and on one of those nights I made one of those sort of Ottoman-influenced stuffed vegetable dishes involving a lamb mixture that got stuffed into cucumbers, and it was very delicious, and unfortunately we're not going to be able to do that one this time. But neither will we be able to do what we did on the 3rd night, which were 2 separate things. One of those being a bulgur wheat dish with some lamb in it, which was delicious, as well as a pita with chickpeas, and that was also very nice. But what we are doing is what we did on the 1st night, and that is a caramelized onion with rice and fish, which was spectacular last time. Filled the house with all these great aromas, and it just tasted really great, so we're going to do that one again. But now we need to see what goes into tonight's dish. For our fish with spiced rice and caramelized onions, we'll need 2 pounds of fish fillets. You'll want a firm white fish here. We've chosen to go with grouper. 1 fish head, but if you don't like that, you can substitute seafood stock for your water. 3 large onions sliced. 3 cloves of garlic sliced, and separately 3 cloves of garlic mashed, 1 teaspoon of fresh diced ginger, 1 teaspoon of whole cumin, and separately a half teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of whole cracked cardamom, 1 cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon of whole cloves, 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds, half a teaspoon of paprika, 3 tablespoons of canola oil, and separately another 3 tablespoons of canola oil, 2 tablespoons of pine nuts, optional, 2 cups of rice, you can use medium grain or basmati, we're using basmati here, and salt and pepper to taste. And then for our tahini dressing, a half a cup of tahini, that's sesame paste, the juice of 1 lemon, a 1/4 cup of water, and salt and pepper to taste. A word of note on the preparation though, you're going to want to have cheesecloth for this recipe, because first time around I had that and it tasted really great, and you're going to see how the flavor was affected by the fact that I didn't really have one handy at this particular time. Also, the recipe as posted, and remember links are always in the about section, did not mention peppercorns in it and didn't say where the coriander seeds go in. So where you see me put peppercorns in, that's where you're supposed to put the coriander. In any case, it's going to be really great. We need to get cooking. First, wash the rice and soak it in warm tap water for half an hour. Then heat 3 tablespoons of oil in a pot over medium heat. Meanwhile, in a bowl, place the ground cumin, paprika, salt, and pepper, and mix together. Paste the fish fillets with the mashed garlic, then season with the spice mixture, and refrigerate for 30 minutes. When the oil is shimmering, add the onions to the pot, and saute the onions until caramelized but not burnt. Note this will take a lot longer than you're expecting. Meanwhile, prepare the tahini dressing. Take the tahini, and little by little mix in the water, and little by little mix in the lemon juice. When it reaches your desired consistency, season with salt and pepper. Then onto a piece of cheesecloth, place the ginger, whole cumin, cardamom, cinnamon stick, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, and cloves, and tie the pouch with a string or rubber band. When time is up on the rice, drain it and set it aside. Then heat a dry skillet over medium heat.
Add the pine nuts and saute a couple of minutes until toasted, and set them aside. When the onions are finally caramelized, remove a third of the onions for garnish, then add the garlic and saute for 1 minute. Add 3 cups of water, dip the spice pouch into the liquid, add 1 teaspoon of salt, and if using, add in the fish head, and bring it all to a boil. Let the stock simmer for 15 minutes, then remove the fish head and the spice pouch. The stock should have a brown color from the caramelized onions. Yes, it should be darker than this. Then, in a blender or food processor, puree the onions and return them to the stock. Optional. We've chosen to use a Wanda blender for this. Add the rice to the stock and bring it to a boil. While the rice is still wet, reduce the heat to very low and cover, and cook for 15 to 20 minutes until the rice is cooked. You may need to add a 1/4 cup of water halfway through. Add 3 tablespoons of oil to a frying pan, and then when the oil is hot, add the fish fillets and fry on each side for 4 minutes. You can also grill, bake, or even add the fish to the stock to cook it with the rice. To put the dish together, pile the rice in a serving platter or on individual plates in our case, and top with the fish fillets. Garnish with sautéed pine nuts and caramelized onions, and serve with tahini dressing alongside.
How'd that all turn out? Well, it was really delicious. This time around I got grouper instead of tilapia, and it really helped with the flavor because it was really good. And I got a really nice sear on it, cooked perfectly on the skillet, and the rice came out very nicely. However, because of the fact that it takes so long to caramelize onions, and I tell you, it takes a long time. Give yourself like half an hour because it's really supposed to get nice and brown and very soft without being burnt, and I didn't have the time to do that, unfortunately. Otherwise dinner was going to be crazy late. So I apologize. It was supposed to be a lot browner and have a good deal more sweetness on account of that. Also, this time around I did use the puree Wand blender to kind of get that flavor into the rice. So everything came out very nicely. It was really delicious. It had those great flavors. However, because I didn't have the cheesecloth and I used the linen bag instead, the flavors were a little bit muted, which was a little bit of a disappointment. So because of my errors, I'm gonna give that one 4 out of 5 globes. Otherwise it would have gotten a 5, and I'm looking forward to trying this one again to get it up there. But that does it for this stint here in Syria. Now, a word about Syria. As you probably know, for the last 10 years, Syria has been experiencing unimaginable horrors, and if you have the ability and you're so inclined, please make a generous donation to the fine folks at Doctors Without Borders. They're doing incredible work there as well as around the rest of the world, especially involving the response to the COVID crisis that still is raging at this recording. But thank you for joining us. Next time we're going to be leaving the S's behind after almost a year and starting in with the T's in Central Asia and the food of Tajikistan. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, please be sure to follow us on Periscope. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Like and subscribe if you'd like to be advised when these videos are posted, and be sure to hit that bell to get those notifications. Remember, links to the original recipes can be found in the About section. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food we're eating, please be sure to sound off in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy eating!